this video, I'm going to be introducing week 10 of the course. And in week 10, we're going to be taking a look at the structured query language, which is also called SQL or SQL, and reports in Microsoft Access. This is going to be a more tutorial-heavy week, which means that we're not going to have any lectures. Instead, we're going to have tutorial videos, as you should be used to, as we've done this format a few times before. But before that, I have a few announcements. And the first one is that course evaluations are now open. So to complete this survey, head to feedback.uwo.ca and fill out and give your opinions on the course. And your feedback really helps improve this course. It wasn't a few years ago that this course actually, when it was offered online, didn't have any videos at all. And the students would just have to read the text and they'd do the assignments and stuff without much guidance. So based on feedback from students, we've put a lot of effort, me and some other professors that have taught this, into really improving the course and adding all these videos and things for it. So if there's anything you'd like to see in the course, do differently, or things you really liked, do please include that in your feedback. So this feedback also helps the department in choosing which courses to keep running and which courses to offer in certain terms and how frequently to run them. So it is important to get your feedback on the course in that regard as well, so the department knows what courses students like and which ones they should keep offering. And it's also used for faculty evaluations and promotions, which can help any of your professors that you're filling this out for if you think they did a really good job. You can also provide more negative feedback in case there's anything you think that we could improve on. As long as it's constructive, that's all okay. And I should point out that this survey is completely anonymous. I don't get to see the results until their grades are finally submitted, and I don't ever get to see which student submitted which comments. So you don't have to worry about anything like that. And there's also a chance to win a $500 Amazon gift card, which is always great. For terms on that and how that works, please see the yourfeedback.uwo.ca website, as they're the ones offering that contest. Because these course evaluations are so important for helping us develop the course and improve it, I'm also going to offer a little bit of a participation bonus for the whole class based on how much of the class, or what percentage of the class, fills out the survey. So based on the percentage of the class that's filled out the survey by July 29th, a bonus will be applied to everyone in the class to your participation mark. And it's going to be one bonus participation mark for every percentage point of people that fill out the survey. So if 25% of our course fills out the survey, everyone in the course will get 25 extra bonus participation points. If 50% fills it out, then everyone gets the 50 points. And it doesn't matter what your feedback is. I won't even see that until after the grades are in. You're just worrying about filling it out here. So now, as recommended by the university, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to head to feedback.uwo.ca and fill out that course evaluation. It helps everyone earn those extra bonus participation points, and it enters you in that draw for that $500 Amazon gift card, so there's really no reason not to do it. And while you do that, on the screen right now, I'm going to put up a video from feedback.uwo.ca that explains how this course feedback is used and how other faculty members have used it to improve their courses. So go fill out the course feedback form now, then come back and continue on with this video, and we'll talk about a few more announcements and some of the course content for this week.
Questionnaires are very important because they really are an important signal of how we're doing in our teaching and learning mission at Western. They're important for instructors because they give that feedback. They help instructors get a sense of what's working and what's not. And they're important for students because students can now say very directly, this is what helps me in my learning experience.
I'm Mike Atkinson. I'm a professor in the Department of Psychology. I'm also a teaching fellow at the Teaching Support Center. My specialty is large classes, and my class currently is 800 students. Maybe they're not too enthusiastic about the process, maybe they're even cynical. First thing I want to know is, why are you cynical? Do you think that these are not a valid measure of, say, student learning? Do you think that this is not a valid representation of what you do in class? And then I would discuss the research with them that shows that, in fact, these are valid measures of those things.
My name is Felix Lee. I teach chemistry at Western. I've been here for just over 12 years now. I was skeptical at first. At first, I thought that maybe 10 to 15% of students would answer the questionnaires, but it turned out that 65% of the students answered them. And what was best was that because students were typing the answers out as opposed to writing them out in pen or pencil, the average length of each answer was much, much longer.
I've used the feedback from the questionnaires in many ways over my 35 years of teaching, 26 of them at the university level. It has informed me in terms of how I deliver the content, whether I engage the students in ways that I thought I did. It also has informed me how clear my explanations are, how organized I think I am as opposed to the perceptions of the students. So that also points to the differentiation of students' learning and ability to take in information and make sense of it. So it's made me even more aware of how different each student is in their learning and how they actually acquire and understand the information.
The best feedback I've received probably has to do with how quickly I present the material. It's helped me slow down, it's helped me realize that there are many different learning styles out there, and that in class we do have to target many different learning styles.
My name is Nicole Campbell, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Physiology and Pharmacology, and I teach the upper year interdisciplinary medical science students. The one thing I would tell my students about the questionnaires that they maybe wouldn't realize is that myself, having received feedback for so many years, I would want them to know that I actually still get nervous to read that feedback. And the reason I'd want them to know that is because that means it means something to me. So you would think that maybe as you progress in your career, you would be less nervous, but it's kind of the opposite. And I think the reason for that is that we are invested and we care, and we want to make sure that we're doing our job well.
Many students think that the results of these questionnaires are going into a black box, that they're never used again, and that it's just a time-consuming process. We, on the other hand, use these results to assess teaching performance. We assess how students are finding a course. Do they find a course appropriate? Do they find a course interesting? Do they find a course totally useless for the program? So we take these data seriously.
And we're back. Hopefully you filled out that course evaluation form. On to other announcements for the week. So, quiz 4 is this week, and it's going to work just like all the other quizzes. It's going to be posted now, and you'll have till Friday at 11:55 p.m. to complete it. It's going to be on the OWL Test and Quizzes tab in the same location as the other quizzes were. And it's going to cover Chapter 8, 9, XML, XSD, those are schemas, and the video lectures tutorials for weeks 8 and 9. In particular, for Chapter 9, we're only going to be talking about the social media stuff. So only the social media parts of Chapter 9 will be on the quiz. The e-commerce stuff won't be on quiz 4, but it could show up on the final exam, and we will be covering that in a future week. So as I said, you have till July 15th, that's Friday, at 11:55 p.m. to submit, and you can resubmit once, just like all the other quizzes, and your highest grade is counted. The format's going to be true and false, multiple choice, fill in the blank, and matching. And you'll have 45 minutes to complete this quiz. The next announcement is that Assignment 5 has now been posted, and you can find that on the OWL Assignments tab, where you found all the other assignments. It's going to cover SQL and the query design tool, and it's going to be using Microsoft Access. We're going to be learning about all that this week of the course. It's going to be due July 21st at 11:55 p.m. Now, an important thing to note about this assignment is there are going to be a few strict rules in Part 1 of the assignment. So for Part 1 of the assignment, we're going to be writing some SQL by hand. And by hand, I don't mean like writing it with a pen and pencil. What I mean is typing it in a Word document rather than using a tool like the query design tool to create it for us. And it's going to have to follow some strict formatting rules that are going to be discussed in the assignment, and that formatting should match what you see in all the lecture notes and some of the example videos. So do make sure that you read the instructions very closely, and if you have any questions at all about that format, do feel free to ask me, because I want to be sure that you understand it, because I don't want you to lose marks for not following this format. So our last announcement for the week is that the final exam date has been set. So the Office of the Register has scheduled it for August 5th at 7 p.m., and it's going to be online using OWL and ProctorTrack. So it's going to be important that you're available at that exact date and time in front of a computer with a reliable internet connection and all ready to go. It's going to be closed book, but you can have one page of handwritten notes, only one side. And you must complete the ProctorTrack onboarding process before you do the final exam. We'll talk about that in another video as well as at the end of this video, so hold on a sec for that. And I will be giving more details about the final exam in the last 2 weeks of the course. So now on to the content for this week. So we have 2 big video tutorials and 1 set of slide tutorials. And this is the path I recommend going through the material. So start with the SQL tutorial slides posted on OWL, then the SQL tutorial video, and you should try following along with this video. So I do have some of the databases posted. They're ones we've used in past weeks. So do have them downloaded on your computer and try to follow along with those videos and write your own SQL statements. And then watch more of the video and see if yours matched up with my solution and if you got the right results. Then we're going to have a reports tutorial. This is going to show how to use Microsoft Access reports that you may have read about in that Access chapter of your textbook. And finally, there's some optional things. There'll be a few optional tutorials that I link to on OWL that will be on third-party websites. And as always, you're free to ask any questions in the OWL forums or send them to my email. And now on to the participation activity. And this is going to be an easier one this week. All you have to do is complete the ProctorTrack onboarding process. And I do have a video available for how to do this. It should be linked to on the Week 10 page of our OWL course site, and it will take you through the whole onboarding process and explain what ProctorTrack is. To do this, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a webcam, your student ID card, and a clean and quiet area to do the onboarding. So once you've completed this successfully, ProctorTrack will send you an email letting you know that onboarding was successful. And you have to successfully complete this onboarding process before July 29th to get these participation points, as well as to write the final exam. So this is critically important because it's not just for participation points, it enables you to actually do the final exam. Now, what is onboarding? Basically, this is just going to be a simulated, very simple exam. It's not going to have any real questions. Instead, it's just going to get you familiar with the process of installing ProctorTrack, running it, going through the steps to set it up, as well as taking sort of a dummy quiz on OWL. That's not going to have real questions. It's just going to have questions about the exam itself. So do make sure you do that as early as possible, because if there's issues with your computer or with your webcam or something like that, you're going to need to know right away and have enough time to fix them or buy a new webcam or something like that. So do take a look at that video and make sure you get started on that onboarding process right away. That's all I have for you in this video. Thank you for watching and have a great day.